Hi, I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Aaron.
And this is our very first video for It's Just a movie reviews. Now, we review movies, new and old, and we just have fun with it. Right, Aaron?
Yes, we do. I'm assuming. We haven't done it yet, so yeah.
So, if you're looking for a deep dive into movies, if you're looking for movies without spoilers, this really isn't your place.
Or if you're looking for people who really know what they're talking about.
We just do casual reviews on this channel.
Because we thought it would be fun.
Yeah, we just wanted to have fun with this channel.
So off we go.
So our first movie today is Antlers. And we mostly do horror movies or
Guillermo
thrillers.
del Toro directs.
No, he doesn't direct it.
Oh,
He's
I thought
just
he
a
directed.
producer.
He just produced her. Okay.
This is a Scott Cooper film.
Oh, Scott Cooper. Oh,
Yeah.
Scott Cooper's awesome.
Well,
Who's Scott Cooper?
I don't know.
I don't really care. I'm just,
I don't really know of anything that he has done. That's another thing. We're not movie files.
Okay, back to the movie.
Okay.
So,
We're just going to go over the movie kind of casually, but there is spoilers in it.
Yeah.
If you're not into that, then I'm sorry. This might be good for people who don't want to see the movie and want to know what it's about. And
Kind of.
this movie, this channel might be for people who just want to know what we think about the movie and have seen the movie already. We don't know.
or people who just like long intros.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Antlers is the heartwarming story of the derelict coal mining area in Oregon, and just the family times and fun that is had there. Well, no, not really. No, it is in Oregon, and there is a coal mine, and there's some lovely family folks at the start making artisan controlled substances in said coal mine. And strangely enough, it all goes horribly wrong. Not because of the manufacturing controlled substances, but because they wander deeper in, and there's some sort of creature that does, mostly unseen things to them, which are bad though, because it makes it sounds bad. And so there's a guy and his brother, guy and his older son, right?
Well, there's a little boy.
No. Anyway, the boy's dad and somebody that he's working with in there, something bad happens to them, and then the boy kind of looks in the door and he's, "Daddy?" And then we move on. The boy's name is Lucas. He is at school and getting picked on and such.
This is the older boy.
Yeah.
The little boy's 8.
We
We're already starting off horrible.
We don't see the other boy yet.
Okay.
He's not in that part. I think they say something about going and picking him up afterwards. Is that what that
Right.
is? Yeah. Okay.
There's 2 boys.
Don't interrupt. Should we start over?
No,
All right. We'll edit all that out, though, right?
probably not.
You get the real take here because we can't be bothered to go back and edit out all our annoyed banter with each other. Okay, so on. So something bad happened to Lucas's dad that is as yet unspecified, although he's drawing a lot of creepy pictures at school. In fine tradition of children in horror movies drawing creepy pictures that have some sort of deeper
It's a
meaning.
trope.
Yeah, it's a trope. So the teacher is a little bit suspicious of this, and Lucas is getting picked on some, and he goes home, and there's something going on, something weird going on in his house with the door locked up, and there's banging and growling and stuff behind the door. And that's all we know so far. His brother is somewhere around, but nobody's seen his brother or his father in a while. Now about the teacher,
Okay, the teacher's name is Julia,
Felicity.
and she's played by Carrie Russell. And she does a really good job of looking very sullen and very deeply disturbed.
She's had a rough time.
She's had a rough life. It turns out she has just returned to town from living in Colorado. And she's living with her brother, played by Jesse Plemons, who has been in a lot of stuff. I remember him from Breaking Bad. And I don't know if he had to gain a lot of weight for this role or if he's just...
He just did it for fun.
Yeah. But they are living in their childhood home. And it turns out that this is a family. This is a film about family. You got Lucas.
Not the good kind of family.
It's about toxic families. You got Lucas and his family, and you got Julia and her family. And the theme is there's a lot of daddy issues in this movie. And it turns out that both families, the mother is dead. And they've got daddy issues. Julia ran away a long time ago and left her brother at the hands of their father. It's implied that the father was pretty mean and did a lot of bad things to...
Unspecified bad things for the most part.
To both the kids.
Yeah.
And Julia notices that something is wrong with Lucas. And she found a drawing, one of these bad drawings, and
A lot of teeth and claws and blood and darkness in it.
Yeah. She finds that, and she goes to Lucas's house when he's at school, and she hears the noises coming from the house. And as an actual smart character in the movie, she actually leaves the house.
So maybe I shouldn't go in the house and just, poke around, and stuff.
And so she goes to the principal and asks the principal to go and check. The principal says, well, I'll check it out.
Meanwhile, Lucas is rounding up roadkill and killing skunks and stuff and bringing them home for reasons that we don't know about, but probably aren't good.
And the brother, he is the town sheriff. And he's kind of put upon. And they find a body of the father's friend. They find his body, and it's mutilated beyond anything.
That's the one they find at the coal mine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The body they find at the coal mine. And they don't know what happened, but but the coroner said that it looks like it was destroyed by human teeth. So they're like, we don't know what's going on. Meanwhile, the principal goes and checks on Lucas's father. And here's another trope coming up. She is the unknowing person who opens the locked door.
Lets the evil out.
And lets the what?
The evil.
The evil out of the door. And the father is obviously become a madman. And the little boy...
And he's sort of monster-y looking.
He's sort of monster-y looking. So he kills the teacher and then turns into this sort of...
Something starts to burst out of him.
Ungodly creature. And breaks out of the house. And the little boy is with him too and sees this happen. Not Lucas, but the younger boy. And...
So, yeah. So
things are getting bad.
So so they're wondering where the principal went. And Julia stops by the house again. And after looking around for a minute, notices that the principal's car is there. Lucas had thrown a tarp over it after he figured out that something bad happened to the principal. And so she sees the car's there, and then the next thing is they're taking coroner photos of her upstairs, what's left of her. And So then they decide, Lucas has had a bit of a bad time. So they go take Lucas to see some nice people at the hospital that can, calm him down and check his psychology out and such. And they say that for some reason this child is kind of disturbed. It's almost like his dad went crazy and he had to keep his dad and his brother locked in a room and bring them roadkill to eat or something, so they wouldn't eat each other and the town, so who knew. And so they decide, or mostly Julia decides, since Paul's not too thrilled with it, that they need to take Lucas home with them, at least temporarily, because he doesn't have any other family or anything. The mom's already dead and no other relatives or anything. That's why they were still stuck with the dad, even though the dad wasn't acknowledged to be, all that great with the controlled substance manufacturing and such. So they take him home from the hospital with them, and sometime also at some point that kid that's bullying him also shows up there and gets eaten. I guess that's after that.
Yeah, and they find his body.
Yeah.
And at some point they go to the old sheriff, who is a Native American, and they show them
A wise old Native American.
another trope. And they show him some antlers that were left behind in the mine, and a little bag. What did they call the bag?
A ward.
A ward. And he's like, you're dealing with a Wendigo here. And the sheriff is like, no, I don't believe in your mythical stuff, in your mythical lore and stuff. But
as we all know from horror movies, not believing in it won't keep it from trying to eat you.
But Julia, the sister, she's like, well, he was drawing all of these horrible things. It could be something of that nature.
Yep.
So Julia has Lucas at the house, and Lucas is like
Not having the best day.
Yeah, he's like, my dad is going to come get me. Mm-hmm.
And the brother, Paul's standing, or not Paul, but one of the deputies is kind of standing watch outside and keeping an eye on things.
Yeah, and he gets gutted by the Wendigo, by the dad. And Julia calls him and says, you need to get over here right now. The Wendigo is in the shed. And Paul comes right over and
straps on his handy bulletproof and also, as it turns out, antler-proof vest.
Yeah, but he gets gored in the arm. And Julia comes and saves him, but he's already taken off with Lucas and the other little boy. And so they decide to go to the mine.
Paul's just kind of along for the ride at this point, since he's not, he's kind of gotten beat up a lot, so she ends up going in there on her own.
Yeah, so she goes deep into the mine where we don't know what happened to the first Wendigo.
Yeah, they don't
This
really
is
say.
kind of a plot hole point. Well, he goes where he found the other Wendigo. So she goes down in there. She's unarmed without anything. And there is...
Well, she's got a gun.
She's got a gun.
Yeah.
That's right.
But she's unarmed except for the gun.
But that's not going to kill the Wendigo. And
Surprisingly, even though she's from, it was Colorado or California, either way, she knows how to use said gun.
So she confronts this Wendigo, and
which is a big fella.
which the Native American guy said you have to take out the heart from the Wendigo for it to die.
Which is kind of glowing in its chest like a big coal, which is handy because you can see where it is and get it out.
So they get into a fight. She jabs it with a pole. She can't kill it with the gun. So Lucas stabs him in the back after a while, and he falls down, and she rips open the chest.
Pries his chest open with the bar and Silent Hill finishing move style and pulls out his heart.
and takes out the heart.
The
And
sweet, juicy heart.
yeah, this is all okay. I'm killing my father kind of thing. This is me redeeming myself. And
Then it gets
then
worse.
what gets worse?
Then it gets worse because of the little brother.
And then she has to kill the little boy too because he's
The-
starting to turn into
The
the next Wendigo.
The Wendigo thing kind of spreads like a sickness. And so the dad got sick, and they put him in the thing, and then the brother got sick, and he put him in the room too. So the dad turns first, but the brother is changing in the same way. He's
So,
just about to burst out into the thing.
so he's starting to change. So she has to kill the little boy, which I didn't like, but in essence, she's killing off her childhood.
Or something.
And so she kills the little boy, and he's making the most horrible noises. And, okay, so her redeeming arc is that she's now going to take care of Lucas, and she's going to raise him right, the way she should have been raised. So, that's my take on the movie, if you're looking for something deep in the movie. And everything's
There's a little
fine.
twist at the end, which sets up the possibility for a sequel or something, but we're not going to tell you.
Yeah, you'll have to guess what that is.
So, what did you think of this movie?
I was not thoroughly impressed with this movie at all. Even
I was highly susceptible to the jump scares in this movie, and I did a lot of this.
there were
The
some.
thing kept charging at people from behind like a freight train, and antlers would burrow through their back and come out their chest.
Yeah, I didn't.
She wasn't as impressed.
I wasn't impressed with the jump scares. I don't really like jump scares.
I was doing this near the end of the movie when she was in the mine. Like, I know something bad is going to happen.
If we were rating this movie, I would give it a 6 out of 10. What do you think?
I would give it a solid 8. It had a very good, very stomach knotting, long, slow tension build. You know, they didn't show you the whole, one of the ones where they show you hints and stuff, but you don't really see the whole monster in all its glory until near the end of the movie. So,
Yeah, that was one good thing. It's that you don't see too much of the monster.
and really, I went into this not having any idea what it was about. So, you don't even know that there's a monster at first. You just know there's something is wrong.
Definitely to enjoy this movie. Well, we
Now,
just
we
told
just
you
spoiled it for you,
Right.
but you probably weren't going to watch it anyway, or at least you're going to watch it knowing what's going to happen, but you don't know when it's going to happen.
Always best going in blind. Yeah. But
So I give it a solid 8. Did I say that already?
yeah,
Okay.
I'll give it a solid 6.
I give it an 8.
Okay, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. It really helps our channel.
Our fledgling channel.
And go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more of us. And leave a comment down below and let us know what you want us to review next.
Right. And presumably, and you're going to leave a link in the comments or the description section to the other channel, right?
Yeah, I've got another channel that's more beauty related if you're into that kind of stuff. So you can go over there and subscribe there if you want. But,
And if we end up reviewing any kind of horror movies that involve a monster that, has a lot of beauty products, then, we'll put it in both.
okay. All right. Okay, have a good day. And we will see you later. And goodbye.
Bye.